Hey yo, what's going on guys? It's your boy Big Bird back with another video. Today, before I get into today's video, I want to talk a few things. Is that I know that I said I was supposed to have the tournament and it was supposed to happen nearly 2 months ago. Please hold on. I'm not canceling the tournament. I just been extremely busy. Extremely busy. So pretty soon I am going to get around to making a bracket, and then for future tournaments, I know that this is a little bit different, but I want to reduce it down to 16. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have like 32 people sign up, and then and that will be the qualifier. The qualifiers won't be live, but you know, if you do want to see the qualifying matches, those matches will have to be sent to me. Um, if you want, but they won't be live. So they have to be sent to me, and I can upload that on the channel. But the actual tournament will be 16 people, because basically 16 people get knocked off, and then 16 people go ahead. So you have the first round, you'll have the quarterfinals, and then you'll have the semifinals, and then the finals. And so the way that would work is that because the quarterfinals will take one whole day, so you'll have, I believe, what is that? Because it's 16 people, you would have actually it would probably go on for 2 days. So you would have, what is that? Because 16 people would be 8 matches, so you would have 4 matches one day, then 4 matches the next day, and then you go into the quarterfinals, and that'll be one whole day, and then you go into the semifinals and the finals will both be on the same day, as well as the what is that? The third place match that'll also be on the same day as the semifinals and the finals. So you have the semifinals, then you have the third place match, and then you have the finals. All right, so I want to address that. The other thing I also want to address is that, um, this recently we just had the anniversary of JDF passing, and I don't want to say how he passed. A lot of you know how he passed, okay? And the reason why I bring that up is because there's a guy out there. I call him the fake Red Ranger because he likes to go ahead and he actually morphs without a filter. That's one thing. And then number two, he thinks that he's you know, the best Red Ranger user of all time, and he's not. He's not. And but he's an uncivilized mutt. And the reason why I call him an uncivilized mutt instead of call him a POS is because right now I have children who go ahead who actually watch this stuff, and I have to be more careful in what I say. So I don't want to be so vulgar in what I say. So I'm gonna call him an uncivilized mutt because that's what he is. Because he goes ahead and I'm gonna just say the initials of. He likes to tell people to KYS. When someone disagrees with him, someone goes ahead and they criticize him. He doesn't have really much to say, or he feels he doesn't have a comeback. He goes KYS, and I'm not talking about keep yourself safe. Okay, I think y'all know what KYS means. It means to basically put it this way: self deletion. All right, and I'm not cool with that because that is how you know JDF passed away. By that, and a lot of people in this world have problems with depression. They have problems with depression, and it's a big thing when I hear someone say that. I get really upset and I get very angry. The reason why I get angry about it is because, why did you have to say that? That is so hurtful and that's evil. You say that, basically that you want to talk about, well, Sunday is the Lord's Day, and by the way, Sunday is not the Lord's Day, but that's another topic for another day. You want to say this and that, but you go ahead talking about, KYS, get out of here. Okay, that's uncalled for. And the guy that I'm talking about, fake Red Ranger, okay, Jordan over 500 tons, Mr. Zayon himself. Yeah, him, that guy. So if you go ahead and you go onto his YouTube page and you support that, you support the uncivilized mutt. Okay, all right. I don't support that. I don't get down with that. It's not cool. I don't like it. So I want to say that about Mr. Zayon, okay? If you are looking at this, or if somebody tells you about this, this is my message to you. Stop saying that, okay? It ain't cool. It's not cool. I think that basically what you're saying, it's uncalled for, okay? There are people out there who really think about, doing that to themselves, okay? And it hurts them, and it hurts the people around them. But you just don't understand it because you probably this uncivilized mutt, and you probably don't care. You know, which you better be careful of those words because you wishing harm on other people. That harm may come back to you, and trust me, it can come back to you. So if I was you, I would stop saying it because it ain't cool. Now, with that being said, I want to get into today's video. So yesterday, when you are in the gang, there are things that you know you have people in your gang who are how should I say it? Loyalty is a thing when you're part of a gang. So you know, basically betrayal is not an issue, but when that does become an issue and someone betrays you, one of your own, then what the gang does is the whole gang, they mob up, and what I mean mob up is that they get together, the whole gang, and they take care of the traitor. Usually it's by physical force. So basically they get the hands and feet treatment, and I'm not talking about the massage, okay? I'm talking about basically fisticuffs and boots. That's what they would get. All right, now we're not gonna do that to. We at the goats are not gonna go ahead and mob up. We're not going to basically do the hands and feet treatment, okay? The fist and boots. We're not going to do that. No, we're not a gang. We're an alliance, okay? We are civilized people. We don't do that. But with that being said, actions have consequences. So when you go ahead, like Mr. LordinBlack, he decided to go ahead and, I don't know, betray me, you know, vote against me. Which also brings me to this, and I do want to explain it because I haven't explained really what the list is about. I went vaguely into it, and I will go a little bit more into it. So I was in a Discord server, and in this Discord server, there are rules when you join a server. There are rules. One of the rules, whatever rules they have, they have. Okay. Um, so one day I decided to, what is it? I said that, you know, I'm going to shoot Ninja Kim out of the sky because she's a crane. So I can't find a crane. So what I do is I type in shoot bird on the GIF and I put up, basically the bird gets shots out of the sky. Okay. That doesn't seem, harmful. That's not really bad, right? It's an approved GIF. Well, the moderator of that server decided to go ahead and to give me a strike. Okay. It's in the form of warning number 1 for shooting a bird out of the sky and said it was animal abuse, which I disagree with, which I think is silly. Okay. Duck hunting, bird shooting, that's not animal abuse. That's gaming. That's actually gaming. Okay. That's not animal abuse. So, whatever. I get strike 1. Strike number 2, I went ahead. Someone said something on Twitter or X, and I went ahead. I removed their picture. I removed their name, and I just put what they said because I thought it was funny, and I put it in a general chat. And basically, I got another strike for basically, what is it? Instigating a feud. All right, whatever. So at that point, because I had that, I said, well, let me get out of this channel. So I removed myself from the channel so that I wouldn't have to interact. So that way, for 60 days, I don't interact with people because they have each strike you get 30 days. So there's a 30-day notice. So at this point now, I have 60 days before both strikes can be removed, and it takes about 30 days for each strike to get removed. So to go back to strike one, I would have to not get in trouble for 30 days, and then after that, I have to not get in trouble for 30 days to remove the first strike. So then, all right, the chief officer or the chief moderator of the server, I went ahead. Didn't want any dealings with that person, so I didn't tag him. I didn't talk to him. Whatever. I went ahead and I talked to other people, and what I did was I made fun of the chief moderator, but I put a spoiler on it, and I didn't tag him. I tagged somebody else. This was not directed towards him. Apparently, that was considered harassment. And I don't know how it's harassment if I'm not talking to the guy. Okay? And I put a spoiler on it so he can't see it. Now, if he goes ahead to see it, to me, that just means that, hey, why are you looking at that? What purpose do you have? Unless you're just trying to get at me. And which he was. So he told the owner. And the owner, you know, because I had made assurances to the owner before that I would leave that officer alone, in which I thought I did leave the officer alone. I didn't tag him. I didn't say nothing to him. I was talking to other people, and I put spoilers so that he could not see what I was saying. And if they wanted to find out what I was saying, then have another officer look at it. But no, that wasn't the case. Apparently, that was considered me going ahead harassing that officer, so that got me to strike number 3. And so at this point, the owner, he feels that he can't trust me. So, because I told him that I would not mess with him, and so he put it to a vote. And the owner has things that's going on in his personal life. That's why he's not. I don't want to get into who it is, but he has things that's going on in his life, and I do respect that. He put somebody else in charge because he has those things that's going on in his life. But so the guy who's the chief officer is actually kind of like the owner of the server. He's acting as owner because he's doing the day-to-day operations. He's controlling the server. He sees what's going on, and so basically he really trusts this guy because then this way he doesn't have to run the server. The owner does not have to run the server. He can attend to his personal issues that he has going on. And so if he feels that the officer is being not happy, then he's not happy. And so that's why he brought it to a vote. And I don't blame the owner for it. I don't. Now, here's the thing, and this is why the list was made. Because it was brought to the people of the server, how should I say it? The advisors. The advisors went ahead and they was going to either vote for me to stay, and basically we work it out. I, whatever, I get a month-long mute, whatever. Anyway, when it came to that vote, and they decided to, a lot of them, because they said that I, was constantly breaking server rules, which, and I was being very toxic, which, okay, me going there shooting a bird out of the sky and showing somebody said what was on Twitter. I guess, and me going ahead and not tagging the person, but talking about them. That was considered harassment. But they, basically, and there are people who did way worse in the server, by the way. But hey, I guess that was enough for 11 out of 13 people to say, yeah, he's got to go. He's too much of a problem. He's got to go. And so I'm like, okay, well, whatever. And so that's why the list was made, because they were so petty to go ahead and to boot me out of the server. I'm like, all right, you want to be petty? Boot me out of the server. Now we're enemies. And so that's how the list was made. And one of those guys on that list was LordinBlack. Now, he had his reasons for, deciding to betray me, but he did. And so he's got to pay. It's not going to be with the mob up, put the hands and feet and the boot, the fist and boots. No, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna go ahead and put the hands and feet in the game. All right. So here's the match between me and Lib.
3, 2, 1, go!
Dude, what you doing? What you doing? So we see some assist cam there, Lib. Come on. Stop that with the assist cam. Oh, look at that. I caught you. Up in the air you go, sir. Oh, look at that again. Oh, look at that. Oh, man. You're just getting caught. Oh. She just victory.
KO.
All right, so yeah, I know this was a little bit extra long video, but I wanted to go into these things before I made the video. I wanted to go into some issues that we were going on, especially about the tournament and about how the list was made, man. The original story. Like I said, I didn't want to put any names out there that I need to, but I think that if you piece it together, you'll find out what server it was in and who I'm talking about. And then another reason too why I don't talk about that man, because that man has helped me. So I don't bite the hand that feeds me. Okay, so that's another thing. One thing you don't do that. So I respect him, and I still like him. I'm cool with him. But yeah, I don't like to do that. I don't like to bite the hand it's not appropriate to go ahead and to bash the guy that's taking care of you. You just don't do that. So, but yeah, I wish that, whether he's going on, I hope he's doing all right. We haven't talked in a while, but I hope he's doing all right. I'm gonna reach out to him, see how he's doing. Um, but yeah, my smoke was not towards him. It was towards the advisors who decided to go ahead and do that, because they could have went ahead and showed mercy, but they didn't do that. They didn't decide to show any mercy. They said, we're just gonna smoke you, and that was cool. They decided to smoke me. I'm gonna smoke them, and this is gonna happen every day as long as basically that vote still stands. I'm looking for them every single day, and it's been months, and I'm still looking for them. It's not gonna stop. And anybody who thinks that is this gonna blow over? This is not gonna blow over at all. It's not. I'm gonna keep looking for them until I find them. All right. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for enjoying the video. I will see you next time. Peace.